Hi guys, it's Julie. Today we'll be making probably the best cheesecake I've ever made, salted caramel cheesecake. It's incredible. You definitely need to make this for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Saturday, whatever comes quicker, because it's so good. So let's get started. Okay, so you're going to need an 8-inch springform pan. I wrapped it in some aluminum foil because we'll be preparing a water bath later on, and the aluminum foil will prevent the water from getting in. Here I have some crushed graham crackers with some unsalted melted butter. I just mixed some unsalted melted butter and the crushed graham crackers until it resembled wet sand. I used my fingers to press it down onto the springform pan, and I went up the sides just a little bit. I then placed this in the fridge. I turned the oven on to 325 degrees, and I then got started on the cheesecake filling. You're going to need some softened cream cheese. The cream cheese will be the star, so I would suggest using a very good creamy cream cheese. Go ahead and mix that. I'm using 3 blocks of cream cheese, so that's 24 ounces. And you want to mix that until it's nice and smooth. Go ahead and add the sour cream. Sour cream is super rich, but we want this cheesecake to be very delicious, creamy, and rich. We're not making this every day, so let's definitely splurge here. Full fat everything. Go ahead and add a little bit of vanilla extract and then your sugar. Once the sugar is well incorporated, we are going to add the eggs, 3 eggs total, one by one. And once you're done adding the eggs, you want to mix it for an additional 5 to 10 seconds, and that's it. You definitely do not want to overmix this. Let's pour the cheesecake filling into the springform pan, and we're then going to bake it for about an hour and 15 minutes. If you do not want to see any cracks on your cheesecake and you want it to bake smoothly, you'll need to place the springform pan in a larger oven-safe baking dish. Add some boiling water to the baking dish and then bake it. I have the complete recipe and instructions over on my website, cookbyjulie.com, and I promise you, you will have the most rich and creamy, crackless cheesecake ever. So to make the caramel sauce, you're going to need some sugar and water. Cook that over a medium-high heat. Do not stir it with a spoon, just move your saucepan around and that should do the job. Definitely keep your eye on it. Sugar burns extremely quickly. The minute you see it turn into a nice golden color like this, turn off the heat, and you want to add the butter and heavy cream right away. Stir it in, and then you are going to let it thicken nicely. So it will start bubbling, and you just want to keep on stirring. My cheesecake was in the fridge overnight, but you may do 4 hours. Definitely needs to refrigerate for a minimum of 4 hours. This cheesecake was perfect. It never cracks because I always follow the exact method, and it isn't difficult at all. It did have a little bit of air bubbles, but that's quite alright. You just have to like really shake off the air bubbles once you place the filling into the springform pan. And I was supposed to smooth it out just a little bit more, but that's all right. Now, you want to pour the caramel sauce once it's completely cooled, because if not, your cheesecake will probably melt. And I poured that delicious waterfall of caramel over the cheesecake, or shall I say caramel fall, and I then sprinkled some salt over it. Now, you may do 2 things. You may salt your caramel. You may add about a 1/4 teaspoon directly to the caramel, or you may just sprinkle some salt on top of the caramel. I would suggest using some kosher or some sea salt. You definitely want it to be a coarse salt, and this was, I promise you, the most incredible cheesecake ever. I want you to make this weekend just to try it and make sure it tastes good, and then make it again for Thanksgiving because your guests will be blown away. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you all so much for watching.